WBZ, New England's Channel 4. Next on Eyewitness News.
He ran on a promise, and he won on a commitment. Tomorrow, the president tries to sell his message of sacrifice. Newly released photographs of Challenger's crew cabin destroyed in the 1986 shuttle explosion. And a North End shooting suspect still on the loose tonight.
Now, live, this is Eyewitness News Nightcast.
Good evening, I'm Casey Kaufman. President Bill Clinton will be taking his message to the people this week on how he proposes to cut the federal deficit. He plans 2 nationally televised speeches tomorrow and Wednesday to push his plan that will call for sacrifice by virtually all Americans, plus cuts in big government.
Cuts in every single government agency, and there are going to be close to 150 specific spending reductions in the president's plan. He's serious about spending cuts in a way that no other president has been serious. We've heard a lot about it before, but nobody's done it. This president is committed to doing it.
If the president is trying to get more blood out of Americans, he had his own kind of symbolism today, running against the wind to raise money for the Heart Association. Some observers say his economic plan is shaping up to be the largest deficit-cutting package in history. But Republicans aren't sharing the same enthusiasm as Clinton's advisors.
What I've been through the last 3 weeks is unprecedented. We have gone with the President of the United States through every major area of the budget, and he's looked at every option, and he's made decisions.
It's tax the rich, cut defense, put more controls on hospitals and doctors, and that's the essence of the program. If that's the case, that's not very bold.
The president will make his first pitch to the American people at 9 p.m. tomorrow, a 10-minute promotion of his plan. The full plan will be explained in another nationally televised speech to Congress on Wednesday night, also at 9. NBC News and TV4 will carry both speeches. For the first time since Bill Clinton took office nearly a month ago, Iraqi President Saddam Hussein reportedly says he wants to open a dialogue. Saddam said the new president should try wisdom and not weapons. The Iraqi news agency reports Saddam made the comments during a meeting with peace activist and former Attorney General Ramsey Clark last night. The agency quotes Saddam as saying Washington and Baghdad can build new relations based on mutual respect if Clinton is ready to hear the viewpoint of Iraq. Clark has not been available to confirm the Iraqi report. NASA today released photos taken of the wreckage of the Space Shuttle Challenger more than 7 years after the disaster that claimed the lives of 7 astronauts. But they offer no new answers. The cabin of the shuttle was recovered from the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, raising questions whether the crew might have survived the initial explosion and the fall back to Earth. The space agency released 45 still pictures after a New York man won a suit to get the pictures. In an effort to protect the privacy of the families, NASA released no photos showing personal effects of the astronauts. New Hampshire schoolteacher Krista McAuliffe was one of the victims of the disaster. A Quincy man remains in guarded condition tonight after a shooting in Boston's North End. The shooting happened at about 8:30 this morning on Hanover Street. Boston police found the victim lying on the sidewalk.
We got a call that there was a stabbing or a shooting in the North End. The officers from Area A went there, and they found a man shot in the head. Further investigation revealed that the suspect was in a taxi cab, and he was followed to this area, and apparently one of the officers saw what we think now, the man that may have done the shooting, run into this project.
Police searched throughout the old Colony housing project in South Boston, going from building to building. Cab driver Rudy Harold picked up the suspect, unaware of who his passenger was.
I have no idea. I picked up your fare, then I dropped him here, and I see all the cops around me. That's it. I have no idea what happened.
What did he say to you when you picked him up?
He says, drop me at South Boston. That's it.
2 police officers were injured when a car struck their cruiser while they were responding to the search. Police believe the shooting may be drug-related. Police in New York City are still trying to find out why 6 people were shot to death execution style in a Bronx apartment. Acting on a tip, the police found the resident of the apartment, 2 of her children, and 3 neighbors. A relative said they tried to visit the apartment last night, but no one was answering.
We came last night about my brother came last night.
About 12 o'clock?
To take her dancing. He takes, my cousin every Saturday dancing.
Went to take
he
her
blew the horn. He called. There was only answer, no answer.
Police say they found $4,400 in the apartment, so they've ruled out robbery. Drugs could have been a factor. Jury selection is scheduled to begin this week in Rhode Island in the trial of Christopher Hightower. He is the Barrington man charged with killing the Brendel family of Barrington in 1991. Ernest, Alice, and their 8-year-old daughter, Emily, were missing for 7 weeks before authorities found their bodies in shallow graves near their home. The 43-year-old Hightower was arrested in September 1991 while driving the Brendels' blood-stained car. His defense attorney says he will try to prove Hightower was insane at the time of the murders. And we have more news ahead for you tonight on Nightcast. Does jailed boxer Mike Tyson deserve a new trial?
We, the juror, felt a man raped a woman. In hindsight, I, speaking of me, feel a woman raped a man.
Alan Dershowitz heads to court tomorrow.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
How many years?
50 years.
What's it been like?
Wonderful. Very good. Old-fashioned love this Valentine's Day. And later in sports, like a kiss from your cousin. The Bruins tie against Tampa Bay. Bob Newmeyer will have all the action.
And it's now 3-3. Some daycare centers break the rules again and again.
There were too many kids in a really confined space.
WBZ's I-Team sent someone undercover to find out what's going on.
The thing I remember most is the smell knocked you over as soon as you walked in.
I-Team reporter Joe Bergantino shows you some of the state's worst daycare centers and why they're allowed to stay open. Who's watching the kids? Monday at 6. Getting the stories, getting results. The I-Team. Only on WBZ Channel 4.
There's a traffic jam of presidents, all heading to the big Dodge President's Celebration. You get 100 Abe Lincolns back on the best-selling Dodge Caravan. Plus, you get air at no extra charge. Save up to 3,200 George Washingtons on Dodge Dakotas with available Magnum engines. Or you can save 50 Andrew Jacksons on a hot Dodge Shadow ES. Plus, immediate delivery, on-the-spot financing, low down payments. So hurry to your Dodge dealer, and you'll have the presidents right in the palm of your hand.
Nice beaches. It's tropical. I think I will guess Hawaii. No. Oh, look at this vast open rockiness. A screen that's gorgeous. Look at that. It's a man's vacation. It's Scotland. Scotland. Oh, nightlife. Monaco. Oh, don't say no.
Where the new world meets the old world, discover the new old world. Puerto Rico.
Oh, I should have known.
Eyewitness News continues with Casey Kaufman.
Mike Tyson's lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, appears in an Indianapolis courtroom tomorrow arguing that the jailed boxer deserves a new trial. Tyson was convicted last year of raping beauty pageant contestant Desiree Washington of Rhode Island in his Indianapolis hotel room. Dershowitz says jurors were blocked from hearing testimony from witnesses who challenged Washington's claims that she was raped. And now several jurors who convicted Tyson in his first trial say they believe they were duped by Desiree Washington, who said she had no financial interest in having Tyson found guilty.
She has lied to me. One simple fact. She stated she only wanted two things: for him to get help and for him not to be able to do it to somebody else. Nothing about monetary.
And if all she wanted was an apology, then, they didn't need us.
I have to agree with everybody. I think he deserves a new trial, and I think all the evidence should be brought forward. Evidence shouldn't be withheld like it was during our trial.
A federal court case filed by Washington against Tyson is still pending. The federal trial of 4 Los Angeles police officers accused of violating the civil rights of black motorist Rodney King is about to get underway. And a new nationwide survey finds that people who recently have sat on a jury believe the officers should have been convicted the first time. The poll by the National Law Journal and the Lexis database service found that 61% of the jurors thought the officers were guilty. When broken down by race, the majority of whites and nearly 9 of 10 black jurors thought the innocent verdict was wrong. A majority of jurors also said that in cases when there is conflicting testimony from a police officer and a defendant, the officer should not necessarily be believed. And the tape at the center of that trial will be enhanced in hopes of giving jurors a better chance of seeing what happened on the night of March 3rd, 1991. FBI technicians are digitally enhancing the tape, slowing it down, and stabilizing its picture. But critics charge that the manipulations could do something else. They say the jurors will see a tape that distorts the event. The taped beating of Rodney King was shot by an amateur cameraman and shocked the nation when it was broadcast on national television. Some tense moments in San Francisco as the Brazilian jetliner landed with 7 of 10 blown landing gear tires. The aircraft scattered debris across the runways that blew the tires. The landing was described as very bumpy. No one was hurt, but officials say there was damage to the fuselage, the wings, and an engine. Well, many people consider Paris to be one of the most romantic cities in the world, and the deputy mayor of that city wants to keep it that way. Jean Tiberi says a proposed McDonald's restaurant near the Eiffel Tower will only spoil the romantic mood near Paris's most famous landmark. And Tiberi vows to use all legal means to keep the hamburger chain from opening. A golden Valentine's Day for 50 Boston couples who've been married for at least 50 years. The city threw a big party for them today in honor of their 2,500 years of collective matrimony. Eyewitness News reporter Joe Shortsleeve says they have plenty of advice for folks just getting started on the road of marriage.
Right here.
How many years?
52. 52.
What's it like being married 52 years?
Good.
Genevieve and Orlando de Roma of West Roxbury joined 49 other couples today at a mansion in Weston to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Happy anniversary. How many years?
51 years.
The couples were all invited by the city of Boston and its sponsor, Northeastern University, to take part in the 50th wedding anniversary celebration. Boston City Hall has been sponsoring the event for 15 years.
The criteria is you married 50 years or longer, and they're here to show us how important it is to have that sense of family in our community.
Lewis and Beatrice Knight of Dorchester say they want young people to know you can make it if you try.
Most of the time, most people you see, they're talking about 5 years or 6 years or 7 years marriage. I like to see where they can see that people been married 50 years and they're still happy.
What's the secret?
50-50 together, doing everything together, being friends, love one another, make every day count, especially now.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. I hope you reach it.
Most of the couples had never met before today, but almost all said they wanted to talk with other couples whose marriages had endured the test of time.
One more?
Yeah, oh yeah, we're having a chorus this time, yeah.
Joe Shortsleeve, TV4 Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
Well, tomorrow is President's Day in honor of the birthdays of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. It's a legal holiday, and here's a look at some of what's closed tomorrow. Municipal, state, and federal government offices are closed, as are schools and libraries. Post offices are closed, some banks are closed, and the stock market is also closed. And here's a look at what's open. Retail stores, liquor stores, and taverns, supermarkets are all open, and the MBTA will run on a Saturday schedule. A special moment tonight at Boston Garden during the intermission of Walt Disney's Beauty and the Beast ice show. A wedding proposal from Dave Marshall of Reading, assisted by the Beast. The Beast presented a bouquet of roses to Carrie Ann Ganshi on behalf of Dave, asking her to marry him. Dave runs a concession at the Garden, and by the way, Carrie Ann said yes. Congratulations.
So.
Absolutely. After all that, no kidding.
Yeah.
Barry's here to tell us what to expect weather-wise.
We're going to expect another snowstorm coming up this week.
No.
In fact, this one might be more productive here in Boston, but not tomorrow. We'll enjoy our President's Day with a good deal of sunshine.
Describe more productive.
I'll tell you about that when we come back.
Dumping a lot of snow, I
indeed.
bet. All right, the forecast is coming up right after this.
Yeah, they all look innocent enough until they start ganging up on you. Then you'll be glad you invested in the security of Jeep Grand Cherokee with all-the-time four-wheel drive, an optional V8, four-wheel anti-lock brakes, and an exclusive driver's side airbag. Because when you're outnumbered millions to one, you need all the help you can get. Test drive Jeep Grand Cherokee at your dealer now. See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
The night wraps its naked arms around the earth. Mothers whisper to their children, hush a line.
crickets chirp for quiet in the wood, as if the quiet will do them good. This is the night of a million dreams, as planets spin around our heads. What better place to be in a night like this, safely tucked into our beds? Serta, we make the world's best mattress.
All across the country, American families are already turning buying power into horsepower with the GM MasterCard. They're earning 5% on every purchase and applying those earnings toward new GM cars and trucks. Now you can too. Call 1-800-8GM-CARD to apply. Start saving hundreds, even thousands of dollars on over 100 GM models. And there's no annual fee. The GM Card, today's financial vehicle.
Have you noticed that keeping up with your competition has gotten tougher?
Morning, Pierre.
Well, maybe it's because your competition has gotten tougher to keep up with.
Good morning.
Because he's using Express Freighter from Federal Express. It's the only way to get shipments from around the world sent overnight by 10:30 the next morning. So don't wait until things get out of hand. Use Express Freighter from Federal Express.
We asked people everywhere how they like the Pontiac Grand Am.
This is a beautiful car. It's gorgeous. I love this style.
We told them about Grand Am's 3-year no-deductible warranty.
Bumper-to-bumper warranty. And it's free?
Then we told them they could get $1,000 cash back on Grand Am.
That's a good deal. That's a real good deal. Grand Am is an excellent value. Everybody likes cash back.
$1,000 cash back. See what you think about Grand Am. See your New England Pontiac dealers now.
I'm going to get one. That's great.
Eyewitness News continues with Barry Burbank and New England's weather.
Hi, everybody. Even though it's a rather chilly night tonight, it looks like it'll be a nice day coming up for tomorrow. And even though that is a legal holiday, still not everybody has the day off, so we'll give you the morning commute map anyway. Sun will be rising at 6:41 in the morning. The temperature in Boston about 25 at 7 a.m. These will be your outlying location temperatures in the upper teens to the north and west, a few spots in the lower teens. And we're looking at bright sunny skies with dry roads and winds mostly on the light side. That's your morning commute. Meantime, let's look at the clouds across the United States, see how they're progressing. And look at this. This is the most notable feature here. This is a lot of moisture which is swung in from the Pacific. We'll gather more moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and that means we're in for some business here on Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night. We have a cold blast heading south, warm and humid air coming up from the south, heading to the north. We have this storm system developing here. It looks like it's going to take a track right across the Tennessee Valley and then head right up into southern portions of New England. Now, the track of that storm will be most crucial, as always, in determining where the rain and snow line is going to be. Latest indications suggest it's going to be an all-snowstorm here in Boston, but winds going into the southeast may make a brief change over to rain here late Tuesday night or very early on Wednesday morning. But if it stays all snow, there's going to be a narrow swath of heavy snow across the central part of the country as time goes along. So let's look at that map for tomorrow. And this is the way it looks in terms of weather across the nation. For tomorrow, we will have that rain and snow. There'll be a belt of heavy snow right here through Missouri into central portions of Illinois and Indiana with showers and thunderstorms south of that. And we're looking at partly sunny skies on the east coast with frigid air heading southward. This is what we're looking at in terms of the cloud cover right now. Across the northeast, we're looking at not much, mostly clear skies right now. We do have high pressure moving in from the west, cold weather here, and this front will be settling south. Now, there are some clouds back in here. There's just a chance we might see a few of those clouds during tomorrow. So we take a look at current temperatures, 29 in Boston, 19 up in Concord, New Hampshire, 10 at Burlington. Winds are dropping off. The pressure is still rising. It is going to be a nice Monday in spite of the fact there could be some clouds coming in later. Let's take a look now at the forecast for tomorrow. Bright and sunny again to start, but a few scattered clouds coming in during the afternoon, especially into the Berkshires and parts of northern New England. We're looking at temperatures tomorrow going to 25 to 30 in ski country, to 35 to 40 in southern New England, high tide about 6 in the morning. Much lighter winds tomorrow out of the northwest and west at 6 to 12 miles an hour. These will be your high temperatures over Cape Cod and the islands, about 36 to 40 degrees. West of Boston, about 34 in Worcester up to Nashua, and Bedford, New Hampshire, about 34, 38 in Framingham. And then meantime, closer to the coast, we're looking at highs about 37 to 38 in Boston, and that's the way it's shaping up for tomorrow. Let's plan ahead now, see what's going on this week. This is what's going to happen tomorrow. Again, recapping, mostly sunny, a few afternoon clouds, lighter winds, a really nice President's Day coming up, around 37. It's an average high close to Boston. And then it turns stormy on Tuesday, but it looks like we'll be able to get in the morning commute without any problems. It'll be the afternoons, which will be creating a serious situation in terms of trouble on the road, almost like what happened on Friday. With snow and possibly changing to rain on the New England South Coast, it could be several inches of snow out of this as it winds down on Wednesday morning with gusty winds and turning colder. And look at that, on Thursday, we probably won't get over 20 degrees as more frigid Arctic air comes out of Canada on the backside of this departing storm. So this looks like it could be a bigger one than the one we had on Friday.
And the snow might stick around, too, because of the cold.
Yes, it will.
All right, Barry,
Okay.
thanks a lot. Sports is ahead. Newman's here to tell us the Bruins in action tonight.
That's right, and we like to fish in Tampa, we like to play golf in Tampa, we like to swim in Tampa. We do not like to tie in Tampa. That's what the Bruins did tonight.
All right, Newmy, also in sports, the latest victims of the Shack attack. Orlando nips the Knicks in triple overtime. Newmy's coming up next.
In addition to its sleek styling and spacious leather and walnut-trimmed interior, the new Acura Legend Coupe LS has the precision of a 6-speed manual transmission, the sure-footedness of traction control, and the acceleration of a 230-horsepower engine. In the world of luxury automobiles, nothing can touch it.
The blackened coil unwinds. In the darkness, nighthawks climb. As shadows creep, eerie lie in perfect sleep. Serta, we make the world's best mattress.
Her soul thrilled with complete knowledge. This was the glistening, forbidden apple. Obsession for Men, Calvin Klein. Your gift with any $29.50 Obsession for Men purchase. Have Filene's.
I do this every day.
9 years as of last Wednesday. 2.5 years.
A little bit under 5.
I've been there 14 years.
I work in the shipping department.
I'm traffic manager.
Shipping manager.
8 years.
14 years.
10 years next October. What overnight service would I recommend?
Of all the shipping companies?
Who would I recommend? Coast to coast.
Coast to coast. 10:30 guaranteed?
10:30 guaranteed. We use UPS.
UPS.
The best overnight delivery service is UPS. Send it out Tuesday, it gets there Wednesday.
If they say it's 10:30, absolutely it's 10:30.
They pick up when they say they're going to, and they deliver when they say they're going to.
Anything that makes my job easier, I like.
The Washington's Birthday Sell-A-thon is on now at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. We're out to beat our sales records by clearing over $125 million in inventory, making this the very best time to buy. Now lease Mercury Sable with no down payment for only $2.99 per month. That's right, no down payment, $2.99 a month. This Sable lease includes dual airbags and for a limited time ABS brakes. See your New England Lincoln Mercury dealer now during Washington's birthday. But hurry, it all ends February 28th.
Eyewitness News continues with Bob Newmeyer and New England Sports.
Well, hello once again, everybody. If you ask me, ties in the NHL are worthless, especially ties against lousy expansion teams. But since the Bruins were actually trailing 3-2 against Tampa late in the third period, Stephen Leach's goal that made it 3-3 saved this one from being a complete bust-out for Brian Sutter and his friends. Hey, Valentine's Day, this couple spending their wedding night behind the glass at Tampa Bay. And John Blue dazzling that couple and the rest of the crowd, and the coach with a nice save there. Pick it up. Bob Bears, remember him with the Bruins with his shot tip filmed by John Tucker. Yes, it was 1-0 in favor of Tampa Bay. Pick it up 1-1. Mikhail Anderson with the deflection through the legs of John Blue. Give Tampa a 2-1 lead. But then it would be Joey Juneau in a mad scramble. Adam Oates getting point number 100 on a brilliant NHL season. But then Tampa Bay would regain the advantage.
I believe. Reed can't clear it. Tucker to Contos. They score! Yes, Contos!
And ex-Bruin trainer Frosty Forrestal gives it the thumbs up. He loves it. Brian Sutter extremely tense. Time winding down in the third period, but the Bruins with a flurry. Gordy Roberts will send a shot on goal, and Stephen Leach will be there to collect the rebound right here. That ties the game 3-3. That's how it ended in Tampa Bay, Florida. Elsewhere in the NHL on this Sunday, Eric Lindros continuing to bowl over and steamroll anybody in sight. Bernie Nichols here. And then Scott Stevens there. Stevens, no shrinking violet either, one of the tough guys in the NHL, and Lindros rubs him out as well. You know, there's a penalty in the NHL for holding onto the stick. That's a new rule this year. But tell me how this would be interpreted when referee Paul Stewart is the guy holding on to the stick. This would be a home-and-home series, the Devils and the Flyers, and the Devils would win both games. Here's Stefan Richer, first of a pair. They win 5-4. 2. Big story in Buffalo tonight, wishing Mario Lemieux well as the Penguins came knocking on the door, and Alexander Mogilny knocks home goal number 55, assisted by Pat LaFontaine. 3-2 Penguins. Pittsburgh had led 3-0, but Buffalo would win this game, and the story here. LaFontaine risking in goal number 36. Pat now has 104 points. That's tied with Mario Lemieux. That's 4 ahead of Bruins' Adam Oates. Bruins in Montreal for a game Wednesday night. Quebec wins in Edmonton for the first time since '82. LaFontaine now with 104 points. Jersey sweeps the home and home. San Jose stopped the presses, wins a hockey game. Toronto, a big comeback to beat Minnie. And Detroit leading the Hawks. They skate in the third period. Celtics have a couple of nights off. They'll be back at it against the team that's the story of this NBA season. The Phoenix Suns, that game Tuesday in Arizona. Quite a game today on Channel 4 between the Knicks and the Orlando Magic, featuring this man, Shaquille O'Neal, slamming, and Orlando up 39-34 at the half, low-scoring affair. And how about Charles Oakley with the Larry Bird impression with the no-look shoulder pass to Ewing, who slams it home. Under 15 seconds to play, Orlando down by 3.
Now Kerr sets up Anderson for 3 for the tie.
Nick Anderson with a big 3 to tie the game at 79. Gesundheit, Casey. The Knicks still had a chance to win it, but the Shaq will send Ewing's shot right back in his face. This game going into overtime, and the Shaq telling Patrick, there's a new kid in town. 9 blocks for the Shaq today. Double overtime, under 10 seconds to play. We're tied at 98. John Starks sent away by who else? Shaquille O'Neal. Don't count this hoop. We're on to triple overtime. Pat Ewing fouled out with 34, trying to give it the MLK wave for his Knicks. No soap. Shaquille does it all, lays it in, and Orlando wins in 3 OTs, beating New York by 2. It only took New Jersey 1 OT to beat Miami. It took Charlotte no OTs to beat Detroit, and Portland has lost 4 in a row at home. College hoops, Bobby Knight's barking instructions as his #1 ranked Indiana ball club against #4 Michigan. What a matchup, what a rivalry. And Indiana would trail most of the way. Michigan up 68-61. But Indiana ripping off a 26-8 run. Matt Nober, great hustle. Lays it in, gets hacked in the act. 70-66, the lead is down to 4. But Brian Evans would give Indiana a lead they would never relinquish. 79-78. Bobby Knight's crowd wins it. 93-92, a college hoop classic. That game played in Indiana. We shall return. We're going to warm up our engines with a little Daytona 500. Stay tuned.
8 engine patents, 9 chassis patents, 4 drivetrain patents. Now you can enjoy the benefits of these and over 60 other internationally patented ideas in the Mitsubishi Diamante ES for just $1,000 down and as little as $299 a month. Never has the cost of progress been so easy to live with. The Diamante ES lease from Mitsubishi.
Another day begins in Europe. Just as it has for centuries. And as each new day arrives, so does a silver bird from the west. This morning, American Airlines will touch down in 13 European cities in 9 different countries, including daily nonstop service from Boston to London Heathrow. So whether it's business or pleasure that brings you to Europe, fly the airline that can have you there as early as tomorrow morning. American Airlines, something special to Europe.
As a cashier at Star Market, I see what people buy and all the ways they can save money, like hot specials, bonus buys, and value packs. Our low prices are becoming as well known as our high quality.
This week at Star, Coca-Cola 12-packs are unbelievably priced at just $1.88, and 3 to 4 foot tall foliage plants are just $7.77.
At Star, there's another way you can watch people save. Watch them save with our double coupon.
Based on a true story, she was happily married with something to hide. A loving mother no one really knew. A respected nurse with a secret of addiction.
You're not going to fool anyone anymore.
Meredith Baxter in the performance of her lifetime.
Oh, God!
The threat of losing her family gave her the strength to survive.
I don't want you anywhere near me and the kids.
I'm not going to leave my kids.
One woman's own story of inspiration and courage. Darkness Before Dawn, NBC Monday.
Welcome back. Dale Jarrett won the Daytona 500. His car is owned by Joe Gibbs, the football coach of the Washington Redskins. And little known fact that Joe's son, J.D., made his debut as a tire changer for Mr. Jarrett in the race today. Don't you just love it? In the race at the Daytona 500, this one was
And women.
a crowd of 100,000 people gathering and waiting to hear those magic words.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
All right, this race had plenty of drama. Check out this sequence. Kyle Petty, the pole sitter and favorite to win the race, slams into Bobby Hillen. Then walking off the infield, Hillen and Petty exchange a few words, and Petty almost smacks him. Listen to the stretch call. Now, the announcer may be a little biased.
Dale Jarrett, bring her to the inside, Dale. Don't let him get down there. He's going to make it. Dale Jarrett's going to win the Daytona 500. All right. Oh, look at Martha. Oh, dear. Oh, can you believe it? Way to go. Oh, man.
Well, allow the announcer a little bit of favoritism here because that's his son. That's Ned Jarrett making the call, and Dale would win it, and the mom's all happy, and everybody's smiling, and there's Joe Gibbs and his son, J.D., the tire changer, I know, is in that picture somewhere. And out at the Bob Hope Classic, Tom Kite. What a performance he put on. Here's a sand blast from about 100 feet. This ball's going to roll right in for an eagle. And then on hole number 17, for birdie, watch the caddy just kind of coax this ball into the cup. Tom Kite would finish at 35 under, close the day with 4 consecutive birdies, and he is the all-time leading money winner, approaching the $8 million mark. And the Beatles wrote a song about him for the benefit of
Mr. Kite. There will be a show tonight. All right, Numi, thanks a lot. Finally, as we told you before, a show, the Disney World on Ice, is presenting Beauty and the Beast at Boston Garden. And as we leave, we'll give you a peek at one of the show's most popular numbers. Thanks for joining us, and have a great week.